Hey, it's Max playing NieR Automata. Welcome back to Play the Hits. Chris, I figured out how to turn the HDR off, so it shouldn't be as bright anymore.
It looks glorious.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, yeah, this is how the game was supposed to look. Sorry for yanking your chain for the last 12 episodes or whatever.
I was just talking about her abs, but I'm sure the lighting looks better too. Hey, Sparks, how you doing?
Sparks! Oh yeah, that's right. We gotta get me set up. I don't know what Sparks is saying.
Yeah, we do. One of these
All
days,
right.
we'll like completely codify our streaming setup so that it's
We'll make this
interchangeable
operation.
between your PC and mine.
Yeah.
I still would love to see like you and Nick and Christy just like do some solo episodes. That'd
Honestly,
be
I wouldn't-
entertaining for me.
You know what I was just thinking the other day? Not a solo thing, although, I mean, it would probably be a really long playthrough, but we gotta put fucking, like, Tears of the Kingdom on our list.
You know, we should.
Yeah. Well, I know we have a lot, like, we gotta do Ocarina first, because we've done that dirty for a long time now.
I love Ocarina. I don't know. Maybe we're playing the wrong version of it.
We're not still stuck at the water temple, are we?
No, we're at like
our
second to
Ganon's
last dungeon.
Tower,
We're
I
at the desert temple.
Oh, that's right.
Technically,
okay.
I mean it's been 3 years. I think
Jeez,
it's
are you
been
serious?
a little bit.
Wow, that's really like sad because it feels like it's been a while. It's been like a year or something, right?
Maybe two. Maybe 2 years. Still,
Yeah.
Sparks caught the tail end of the intro. All right.
So,
You know-
how's your week going?
Good, but I got to talk about this. I get that she's
What's going on?
warrior robot from the future.
hmm
Why does she need a thong? What practical purpose does the thong serve?
Personal preference. Also, I think it's supposed to look like a thong, obviously, but I think it's like cuts in her robot
Abdomen?
skin. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I
That's
don't
a
know.
thong.
It's a thong. Yeah, let's.
Ooh,
I'm not
that
gonna
dress
try
so
to
scandalous.
dance around that.
I can't sing any more of that song or we'll get canceled.
I mean, you think Cisco's going around sending takedowns?
No, I mean, it's just that he says the N-word right in the middle of that song. I'm not going to
does he?
say that.
Wow.
You
Max, I'm
think
going
about like
for
how
it.
popular the thong song was when we were in the fucking 6th grade. It's just
Yeah.
got the N-word like front and center.
Oh, jeez.
You never do the waiting screen to give viewers time to click the alert and I really should get back in the habit of just starting the stream with our starting soon screen and just letting that run until we're ready.
Oh, okay.
But I always forget.
Good idea.
All right.
Okay.
Still, we're gonna hole up here. I wish we had more info to work.
I've been so busy with work lately, but I'm on call tomorrow. Hopefully they don't call me in, which they almost never do, but we should be working with kids. Ugh.
Children. Ugh.
There's more?
Children and their
I
parents.
kill as many as I say.
Worst part. Just to keep the balance,
Just to
like,
keep the balance, that's
not,
right.
not anything crazy, just like, like Thanos.
You gotta be real, like it's Republicans that are having all the kids. Some of them just gotta go.
Oh God! Why am I attacking them?
Stop,
Why
please.
am I locked on?
We called on you to defend
Jeez.
us.
I was,
We trusted you.
I was locked onto the children. You said it, and then it happened.
It came true. Boy, it would be a real shame if you blew up Elon Musk. I would be
Oh my
so
God.
sad if
I
Elon
am like-
Musk were to be assassinated by a robot.
Like, obviously, all these fucking, like, social media, big websites are owned by, in the end, billionaires anyway.
Uh-huh.
But I am like so bummed out by, is that Pascal? Yeah, okay. Like, I'm so bummed out with Reddit right now. I don't know if you've seen, like, these new rules, basically, that, it's just like, if you make inflammatory stuff, it's kind of dumb, but it's just like, yeah, if you advocate for, like, murder straight up, you might get banned, or you might get an infraction. Okay, whatever. That's always been the case. But now, it's if you like or upvote things like that.
Uh-huh.
And when I say things like that, that has been greatly expanded.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
literally, they have a banned words list, and Luigi is one of them.
Luigi?
Yes, and
Like
it's
my
just
boy
like, yo,
Luigi, who's
my boy in green. Like, what if I want to fucking talk about Mario is missing or something? Like, yo.
Or what if I want to talk about the righteous comeuppance of America's CEOs?
And that's the kind of stuff like people will say something, they might not even like take a side or something, but if you upvote something, anything to do with like Luigi Mangione or something,
Yeah.
they will like give you an infraction and be like, hey, we noticed you upvoted
Dude,
something.
Sparks just gave us a Luigi emote. That was awesome.
Nice.
By the way, Sparks, I like your ideas too. We could do like an ending screen where we do like our final thoughts or something. Usually that's just us like dancing around at the last save screen or whatever, but yeah. It could look a little more professional.
Yeah.
I
It was
think
like
not to pat
episode,
myself on the back, but I
yeah.
think the borders really look nice.
The borders do look. You did good with that.
Yeah.
I very much like the like inspired by Super Nintendo Final Fantasies.
Yeah,
basically.
FF6 border. Yep. It took me an inordinately long amount of time to create these, which is just stupid, but
That's fine.
I'm still proud of them.
Learning. Yeah.
Well, no, like that's the thing though. Like I would have liked to have learned something, but really all I did was just dick around with
that's
MS
blocking.
Paint until I got it exactly right, like 1 pixel at a time, essentially.
Yeah.
It's a job that easily could have been done in like less than 2 minutes if I were trained on photo software or you know, like a real like computer drawing suite, but I'm
Yeah.
not.
I get you.
And so like what I did was I copy and pasted a portion of Final Fantasy VI menus. I deleted like, you know, I just erased Locke and Terra and, you know, everybody else and everything.
Nice.
And then what I did was once I just stretched that so that all I had was like the menu border and the shades of blue, I took it to a website that lets you. Oh, I remember this part. I took it to a website that will let you like just essentially it's like an online Photoshop suite that lets me make part of it, you know, transparent. And so that's how I created the border. The problem was I knew the aspect ratio of the SNES and the GBA and, you know, obviously 16:9 content, but I didn't know how to translate that to MS Paint. So I literally just kept on increasing and decreasing the screen size until I had the ratio exactly right. I did this for like an hour and a half for each of them until it was pixel perfect.
Oh my gosh.
It was God. Like I wish I had a much more productive use of my time would have been to just Google like a free photo software and learn how to use it properly, but I didn't.
Yeah, but that's like that requires learning and like
personal
I don't
growth.
know. You're not doing something right away about the problem. You know, like yes, it would have been smarter, but at the same time, I would have done the same thing you did. I think.
Right.
You saying that reminds me of like my first semester of engineering school.
Oh God, that's right. You were doing engineering for a hot minute, weren't you?
Oh my God, trying to learn AutoCAD and stuff, I was not doing it the right way.
Yeah.
I was still getting a lot of the assignments done, but people would like
they
finish
weren't
them
good.
quickly. and I was like, let me start with a sphere and mush it here and up these and people were like, what are you doing? Like,
are you stupid?
I don't know. Is this a fire extinguisher? I don't know.
Dude, I remember my senior year in college, one of my friends, he was another Chris. I won't say his last name for privacy's sake, but Chris was like a savant with like 3D rendering. I remember like on one of our last days of senior year, he straight up remembered at like 11:30 p.m. that he had a final due the next day.
Oh yeah.
And the final
I remember this story.
was like creating like a, you know, 2 to 3 minute long like CG scene just showing off like what they had learned.
Yeah, like an animation, right?
Yeah, right. Just like a basic animation. I was like, oh shoot, dude, that sucks. I wish I could help you, but you know, I'm useless with this stuff. So, you know, I go to bed, I wake up at 8 a.m. for a 9 a.m. class. And when I wake up, he'd been up all night, but in that time, he had created like this CG space battle with like robots and ships, and it looked like something straight out of like one of the better Star Wars movies.
Oh my gosh.
And he built it from scratch in 9 hours. It was absolutely incredible.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Also, like when you're up against
Rock'em
the wall
Sock'em
like
Robots.
that.
Yes, it is, Sparks.
When you're up against the wall like that, sometimes that's when you do your best work.
Yeah,
like,
honestly, that's like
fuck.
where my best writing comes from, is when I'm like, oh crap, there's like 3 funerals, a wedding, and then just like a regular Sunday service all in the same week. Like,
I think
some
we
of my
give
best stuff
ourselves
just comes
too
out
little
then when I
credit.
just like gotta get it out.
You got to get it out, and so it's just like it's kind of more true. It's kind of just like your thoughts, stream of consciousness.
Yeah, right.
And if you have to edit, you have to edit. But I think
to take their own lives.
it's instead of that, when we have a lot of time, I think we try to do it so we don't have to edit.
Yeah.
And it's
I-
like, let me make it right the first time, and that doesn't work a lot of the times.
And honestly, like, not patting myself on the back necessarily, but like one of the comments that I got, like, where I realized that, you know, some kind of creative writing or clerical work could be in my future. One of my college professors, who was like a noticeable hard ass with like their grading, she said to me that like my first drafts could pass for like most people's finished product. And so like I kind of took that to heart. And so even when I don't have as much time to edit as I like, I can at least be fairly confident that it's going to be decently legible.
Yeah. All right. Well, first, you ever read Jude the Obscure? Because this is pretty much what happens in that.
No,
in that book.
weirdly enough, I have not read Jude the Obscure.
Yeah, the main character had a lot of kids.
Did he wear a thong?
And no, but his kids ended up killing themselves, and they left a little note that only them. It wasn't because they were scared. These kids killed themselves because they were scared.
Oh, God.
You know, Pascal taught them fear, and that was like a scene, and I think just the last episode where it's just like, you know, teaching fear to, you know, protect themselves, obviously. But they kind of just took it to heart and killed themselves.
Instead of protecting themselves, they killed themselves. Sparks
Jude the
writes,
Obscure,
I
they
used
left
to
a
do
little
my best
note.
work at 3 a.m. because that's when I could turn off the rest of my brain. You know, I can feel that. Like, that's exactly right. When I have, like, all the time in the world, I take all the time in the world because, like, I allow myself to become distracted or, like, I second guess every word I write. But you were right, Max. Like, as soon as you know, this is needing to be done in 48 hours. Like, that's where I'm just like, okay, just get it on paper. And
Yeah, the juices get flowing.
yeah.
All right, so what do you think, Chris? Are we going to kill Pascal? Are we going to delete his memories?
Okay, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I think I remember from like 2 or 3 episodes ago where you implied that letting Pascal live was the proper thing to do. So,
all right. There's also a third option that lets him live.
You just unleashed Robot Hitler, but okay.
I could also just walk away.
Maybe he'll learn something. I don't know.
I've never walked away before, but I know it's a thing.
Like, this is fucked up. I'm out of here. Do the thing that you haven't done before. Yeah, just let him go.
Mhm.
Leave him with his consequences.
Right?
Maybe he'll find Robot Jesus.
You aren't leaving me like this, are you? Please. You have to end this for me.
Fuck. I don't know if I can go through with
Oh,
it.
God. Yeah, that's actually kind of fucked up.
All right. You know, if I let him live, I can at least, he sells me, like, children head necklaces, so.
All right. That seems
Initiating hacking to cut off.
reasonable.
Well, he doesn't know. He's just like, look at these old scraps I found.
Oh, good.
Pascal's memories.
Understood. Initiating memory deletion procedure.
Oops, time to hack.
Sparks, he sells you what? Don't think about it too hard, Sparks.
Yeah,
Don't ask why, just believe.
just.
It's like the police on The Simpsons, you know? You just close your eyes and you start clubbing. Some days are harder than others, Lou. Just close your eyes and keep
Just-
clubbing.
You promised to read and memorize that botanical
Who was the other cop? Not Chief Wiggum, but there was Lou, and there
Lou-
was
Oh, the one with the scraggly beard. I
yeah.
don't know.
I used to know like every single Simpsons character. I was pretty. It was like Pokemon, man, where like
Yeah,
I
me
knew all
too.
150 of them.
I love The Simpsons. It was
Of course I will. You have my
oof.
word.
Like I used to know Bumblebee guy's actual name.
Break his word.
Oh, really?
Can't think of what it is anymore. Apu Nahasa Pasa.
Puddle Petermon? I don't know.
Yeah. I was actually quoting Krusty there. Apu Nahasa Pasa.
Activated.
Oh. Dude, to this day, I will go on record in saying that Krusty the Clown has the best one-liners in the entire Simpsons canon.
Oh yeah. Okay. What do you got for me?
Oh, let me think of a few. Hey kids, tonight I'm going to suck your blood.
Your blood.
Oh, this only gets me back to regular.
We used to
They're
quote
gonna
that shit all the
garnish my
time. There was-
salary. Please, Krusty, this is no time for jokes. Who's telling jokes?
I remember, what was it? Apu. I think he was just like drunk, and he was like, "Everybody, get naked. Don't be shy. It's going to be great."
It'll be great. Sparks writes, I could never get into shows like The Simpsons or South Park. I don't know why, but they made me so uncomfortable. South Park, I can see. Like, South Park
Yeah,
could
South
sometimes
Park I
be
get.
like, just like, you could tell, like, episodes where they were trying to be irreverent or shocking. But I actually think South Park got better with age.
Yeah.
Whereas The Simpsons definitely hit its peak from, like, 1995 to 2000.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's true for The Simpsons for sure. Although it's just like I feel like some seasons they're really hitting a stride again, and then other times it's just like, no.
I'll be honest, I have missed out on nearly 20 years of The Simpsons. Like
Me too.
like
As far
almost
as not
completely. Like
faithfully.
occasionally I'll see a snippet on TV and I'm like, oh, that's actually kind of funny, and then I just never follow up with it again.
Yeah. No, that's me too. Aside from like the things I watch the most are usually the what do you call it? The Treehouse of Horrors.
Yes,
'Cause
those are always
tend to be
good.
some of the funniest episodes.
Yeah,
I
but
try
it's
to keep
weird
up
to
on
think
those.
that like even though I would still consider myself a Simpsons fan, I actually haven't seen most of The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Because it's been going on for so long and I've not been a part of it since college, and so yeah,
Never stopped
that's
The
that's wild to
Simpsons.
think about.
They got stories for
But no,
years.
Sparks, you owe it to yourself to get on Disney Plus and check out Simpsons, maybe like season, I'm just gonna say like 3 through 9. And
Yeah,
that's just a
that's
guess,
perfect.
but just watch Simpsons
Oh,
3
wrong way.
through 9.
Wrong way. Oh wait, no, right way. I can transport. Or Futurama. I think pretty much all of Futurama.
Yeah, just watch
except
all
for some of the
Futurama.
movies.
Never mind.
Futurama's just amazing.
Like even the seasons
really?
that weren't as good, I would still consider better than like 90% of what's on television today.
I would agree. Which is like the newer seasons, but yeah, still great.
It's kind of like it's not even their fault necessarily. It's just, you get actors who haven't been in their roles for 5 years, all of a sudden reprising them, and then like writers who are like under the gun. And it's like, okay, we have to make this good or they're going to cancel us again. Like, what do you expect?
How many? They've been canceled 3 times at least,
right?
Which I think is as many times as Family Guy was canceled way back in the day.
Yeah, that's right. Family Guy actually did. It's weird to think about that now because that's another one of like the longest running shows on television, but that
Yeah.
underwent a few cancellations.
And it hasn't been canceled since like, I don't know, 2005 or something.
Right.
But back in the day, like every season it got canceled because they're like, oh, this is too far.
But you know what's weird is like, I guess it's kind of like The Simpsons. Whenever I see someone online quoting or memeing or referencing Family Guy, it's always from those same couple of seasons when I was in high school and college.
That's true.
When I watched it. Well, like, I don't think I've seen anyone quote or reference like a newer, like as in the last decade of Family Guy episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just people our age, like, quoting it and stuff, but no, I kind of think the first few seasons were the best for that. Because, yeah, it definitely, I think Family Guy was one that maybe even more than The Simpsons, like, sharply had a decline in quality.
Uh-huh.
It was, there was a lot of things. They also changed, like, some of the characters' just personalities very, like, a lot.
Yeah, and that kind of happens with television shows in general. Like, the longer it goes on, like, the characters become, like, tropes of themselves.
Yeah. Like Friends.
Like, the best example, like, in contemporary TV is probably, like, Big Bang Theory, where, like, like, by the way, for the record, I actually kind of like Big Bang Theory. I think it's a funny show. But, like, the longer it went on, like, the more, like, the character of Sheldon just became, just... instead of a person who is, slightly autistic and kind of has irrational behaviors, he was just, like, constantly one-upping himself with, like, increasing irrationality,
Yeah.
And then that's the way it can be for a lot
Which
of
is like,
television
you gotta
shows.
play it for laughs.
Yeah.
But it's, we gotta up the ante now.
Right. It can't be less extreme than the previous season or it won't be as funny.
Yeah. And also just how ratings and stuff work, which is unfortunate. But,
people want to know what to expect, and so you got to give them that.
It is kind of hard to... I mean, you think... people are so hesitant to, like, greenlight a full season of something, which already our seasons are half of what they used to be.
They are, yeah.
It's like 12, 30-minute episodes, and it used to be about 24. Or 12, like, 1-hour episodes or something. But, yeah, it's...
And you're right, Sparks. After a while, it gets formulaic, and it becomes easier to write the tropes than it does, like, to make them behave like actual people. Yeah. For another, maybe not quite as hot a take, but I really enjoyed the Simpsons movie.
So did I. Yeah, it was good.
They wrote it exactly right. It just felt like a long episode.
That's true. But it also, like, had some stakes. There was actually
the bomb,
some drama. Yeah. Well, there's the bomb. Yeah,
there's the bomb.
There was the bomb, but also, like, Homer's marriage. And...
For God's sakes, just throw the damn bomb. You got to see Bart's dick for like 3 frames.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh, I get it.
I did like that they really played with, like, hey, here's some stuff we couldn't do on TV.
So that's how.
Yeah, basically. Homer flipping the bird.
Giving him the finger as he was sinking into the slop pit. What did he label that silo? Pig slop or pig crap or something?
Something like that.
That was awesome.
The one hole that got you out of Springfield.
Right.
Oh, and they did have, the new character was just the President of the United States, who was a, like Rainer Wolfcastle.
Oh,
like,
yeah. It was like what because at that time, like, it's weird to think about in today's political climate, but at that time, people were constantly questioning whether we were going to change the law so that Arnold Schwarzenegger could run for president.
Oh gosh, I forgot about all that.
That's why they did that.
He was governor of California.
He was still the governor at that time.
Which is like, hey, he was with the Republican Party. I fucking just respect the hell out of Arnold. Like,
me too. That dude is actually like a conservative that, for one thing, he's not as conservative as he presents himself, but
no, for sure.
I mean, a California conservative is like a Midwest Democrat.
That's true. That's true.
Anyways,
he's just a good guy. He has a good heart.
He does. He actually, for all of his, like, showboating as like the ultimate macho man, like, everything that he did politically was actually because he cared, which you've really got to respect a politician that actually gives a shit.
Yeah.
Even if you don't agree with their whole platform.
For sure, yeah. When it's like, they're not in it for themselves.
Exactly. And today that he's one of the few Republicans who will actually speak out against Trump. That's pretty awesome. Sure. Though I'm honestly not sure if he'd still call himself a Republican today.
I don't know.
He kind of refrains from that because, I think he wants to be sort of that middle ground that can help bridge the gap again to whatever extent he's able to.
Yeah.
But, like, I think to formally switch parties, one, it wouldn't do anything because he's not an active candidate anymore. But then, two, it would just alienate more people. And I
Yeah,
think
for sure.
I think he wants more than anything for people to come back together.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it would do anything but harm. So I
Yeah,
think it's
exactly. So I think he's playing it as smart as he can.
yeah,
And it's also probably got to feel pretty nice to just be retired and for there not to really be any stakes. Like,
right.
what, he's going to lose candidates, but he's not running for anything, so who cares?
Yeah.
Or he's going to lose supporters, but he's not running for anything, so yeah.
And just let the paychecks come in as they use your likeness for another
Yeah,
Terminator.
dude, like that's also got to be super liberating to know that like he can be a public servant and just be a public servant. Like he's going to be getting royalty checks for Terminator until well after he's dead.
Oh yeah.
So it really doesn't matter whether he, gets a certain amount of votes or like he doesn't have to be in office. It's just to help. So
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think was always the case. He just wanted
Yeah,
to be
exactly,
governor of
right.
California.
Which is-
he loves the state.
yeah, which I don't get me wrong. I don't think millionaires and billionaires should be governing the rest of us, but at the same time, like I can see where, in certain cases, it's kind of nice to like not have someone like take Elon or Trump with vested business interests, trying to get elected to further those business interests.
Yeah. I think most billionaires are going to do something to like further their own financial interests.
Oh, without question.
But they can do a lot of good if they want to.
Yeah. Again,
most of them
Arnold's the
won't.
exception, not the norm, but still, like, it would be nice if we had more people, like, who are just like, you know what, I've made fucking enough money. I can dedicate myself to just helping my fellow man now. That would be great.
Yeah. The governor of Illinois right now, J.B. Pritzker, is a billionaire.
Really? I didn't know that.
He and as at least it's like how he presents himself, like it's he seems like a decent guy.
Uh-huh.
He there's this something that always makes the rounds on like Instagram and TikTok of him giving a speech at his alma mater of Northwestern.
Yeah.
And just talking about like the hallmark of cruelty, or the dumbest thing you can do is be cruel, basically. Right. And how most intelligent people he knows, or the kindest people he knows, tend to be like the most intelligent.
Yeah.
And just making that connection. And the argument he presents is like, yeah, this actually makes a lot of sense. And it's not just being like, oh, if you're angry, you're stupid.
Yeah, but no, I agree. I think there's like, certainly there's like megalomaniacal intelligence where like you just think you're better than everybody. But I do think a like intelligence tempered by compassion will always make you like see the need in the world and try to address that need. Right.
I think you'll always be more emotionally intelligent that way,
Yeah, right.
And it's
and you don't have to be like a Harvard law professor to, care about your fellow man. But at the same time, I think that healthy introspection that's brought about by academia really makes you more aware of like where the areas of greatest injustice in the world are and how they can best be addressed. Right.
Yeah.
So. Sparks writes, imagine if politicians of a certain level had to spend time with their people. Yeah, I think that should be mandatory. Yeah. Just like we make prisoners do mandatory community service, I think, not that it's a crime to be a politician, but I think just to keep you connected to your constituents, like as a politician, I think 10 hours of your work week should be automatic community service.
That'd be great. Or like actually answering the phones yourself as far as when people call in, something like that to really hear, because you hear about like, town halls where they're going back to their districts to like garner votes and stuff. But yeah, most of that is only when it's like voting time,
Yeah. Well, though right now though, if you've seen any of, I hate to say TikTok, but it's TikTok. Like if you've seen any of the TikTok videos of some of the town halls that have been happening recently where like some of these guys actually have to come out now and explain what Trump's agenda is going to do to things like Medicare and Social Security. They are getting reamed by their constituents right now.
Yeah, and like veterans and stuff.
Veterans are standing up and like shouting, "Fuck you! You can't take away my Social Security." And they like have to stand there and like watch their votes disappear. It's kind of
Which
hilarious.
is like, I hope that's doing something to them, even though they're standing there and be like, no, that's not true, or whatever they're saying.
Yeah, they have to tote the line and they have to kiss the ring in the ass, right? But yeah, you're right. I hope it's having some effect, or if not on the politicians themselves, then on the people that are witnessing these things. And it's like, oh, hey, maybe this agenda isn't what I hoped it would be.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, though, too little, too late. At this point in our country's system, we still only have a maximum 8 years of presidency, and so. But at the very least, I hope that J.D. Vance will never be able to catapult himself to the presidency. God.
Yeah, I also man, J.D. Vance, you don't hear much about him other than people fucking protesting him when he's trying to enjoy a show or go on vacation.
Yeah, which is exactly what he deserves for backing Trump.
God, are you kidding me? Of course.
And then there was also his whole comment to Zelensky,
Trump.
Did you ever try just saying thank you? You've seen that meme, right?
Oh my God. I saw the fucking video.
Me too. It was bad.
It
could have been a Democrat saying that, and I would have been like, that's fucking bad.
Oh yeah, for sure. You should say, it's embarrassing. I was cringing.
To say to a man who's, spent 2 years now watching his countrymen die in an invasion,
seriously.
And having this fat moron from buttfuck Minnesota or wherever the hell he's from, did you try saying thank you? Fuck you, you piece of
fuck
shit.
You.
Right? Again, there's not too many situations where, I on Play the Hits, I throw out the fuck you as a defense mechanism, but in actual conversation, I would give it more thought. But no, in that conversation, I'd just be like, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Right?
If I was Zelensky, I probably couldn't stop myself. Consider
I can only assume it's because he didn't know the right American euphemism to use. Right?
Oh,
fuck you,
God.
cocksucker.
Oh, God, no. No!
No!
I suck.
It's
But
only
yeah,
doing
that was
5 damage to your body, though. Sparks, let's see. Healthy levels of academia can also prevent what we currently have. Yeah, I'd agree. Which is exactly why Trump this week announced that he's dismantling the Department of Education.
Oh, yeah.
Because, the more educated Americans we have, the less likely his ilk are to get elected. Let's see. 10 hours make it 20 at least. What else do they do? Yeah, I agree. I really do believe that, if I were to have my ideal Western democracy, it would all be predicated on social service, right? If you are a politician, not only do you have to give up your vested business interests, which technically is true today, though they found ways around that. They just sign it off to their, mistresses, and they run the company for them on paper, which is just shitty.
Yeah.
But I would also say that, let's really incentivize it by making them, ladle out soup at a soup kitchen or run medical instruments between cell blocks in a prison or something like that. So that they're absolutely aware of the people that are being disenfranchised and, can't afford to earn their keep. It's horrible.
Yeah. And it's most of them, because they come from money, and they were most of them these days are born into money.
Absolutely.
And so you see people
you
like
pretty much
Hillary
have to be
Clinton
to get elected in this country, and it sucks.
Yeah, and also
except you, AOC, we still love you.
Oh yeah, AOC's awesome.
AOC is I will be so devastated if she just quits.
Oh my God!
And every day that goes by, I worry that she's getting closer to it. Because can you imagine how discouraging it must be for her to not only be a woman in politics, but be the only sane person left?
Well, I mean, there's definitely the squad in the house, but yeah, I get you. There's
the
not
squad
a whole lot
though
of
has kind of taken a beating. I mean, it's sad.
Yeah, her and Bernie are doing I know he's a senator, but they're doing
Bernie too. Bernie's taking it worse than anyone. I feel like the most progressive candidates are the ones that keep getting shafted the hardest.
Oh yeah, are you
by
kidding
their
me?
own
I mean,
party,
by the Democratic
no
Party too. Yeah, exactly. Because they don't. And what is it that they've learned
AOC
from
for
this?
Queen of the U.S. I agree.
they they just did Democratic Party doing their fucking autopsy, their post-mortem, And what are they saying? It's like, hey, we need to stamp out these. It's telling me to go this way. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Like, the Democrats lose elections, and they're like, we just need to get rid of the more radical elements in our party.
Yeah,
no, you need to fucking knuckle down on the more radical
like,
elements of your party, because that's what differentiates you from the Trumpies.
They were saying, like, oh, we need to see constituents and meet them in more quote-unquote real places. And then they gave examples like church, gun shows, and tailgates. And it's just like, yo, that's all the concern. Like, I'm not saying don't go to those things.
Yeah, but like, you literally, you're saying where, like, your liberal base is. Check the prisons and, you know, like, schoolrooms, classrooms. I mean, come on, guys.
It's
Shit.
They never learn. It's like, how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? Like,
stop chasing the fucking
learn.
evangelical vote, man. It's not going to happen.
No, it's not. You're not going to win
honestly,
elections.
like, if you're really serious about your principles, it probably shouldn't happen.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, let's face it. The evangelical movement in the United States is a money-making ploy. It's not about God. Like, I say this as someone whose profession is talking about God. Like, the evangelical right is not Christendom at large. It's a scam.
It has been hijacked, yeah.
Well, it's not even been hijacked. I think from its inception, I think like the Pat Robertsons and those types have always just been about, you know, money laundering and oppressing people of color. Like, that's just what they do, and they can hide behind their religion, but they certainly can't claim the Christ of the Holy Bible.
Yeah. Oh, this is saying
at least
basically,
to any rational thought process.
The Yorha units, the black box, reusing the core.
All right, we're playing a video game.
So basically, no, it's fine. So basically, consciousness of Yorha units and machine life forms share the same structure. Oh, surprise. Said black boxes were installed after determining it would be inhumane to install standard AI in androids that are ultimately destined for disposal.
Oh, God.
Ooh.
This is a question we're going to have to deal with real soon. Real fucking soon, isn't it?
Probably.
Like, do I put this fucking advanced AI that can, you know, empathize with human thought in my fucking toaster, or... You know?
I don't know if you ever watched Rick and Morty, but that's an ongoing joke.
The butter bot.
Yeah, it's just like, what is my purpose?
You spread the fucking butter.
Just pass the butter. Oh, God.
Oh, God. Like, the existential crisis that would create in a machine capable of thinking and feeling.
If we could, like, commoditize? Jeez. If it's that easy to, like, create consciousness like that, and you start putting it in everything, yeah, it's probably not a good thing.
Well, we say easy, but think about, like, the process that got us here. It's wild. To like, I honestly did not think that we would get AI to where it is right now in our lifetime, like, where I can just, like, go to Chat GPT and, like, I can, like, have a conversation with this machine that can explain the laws of thermodynamics to me. It's
and it can, like,
insane.
help you out with something. Like, hey, can you I want to write this kind of letter, but in this kind of tone, explaining this. And it a lot of times will do a really good job.
Yeah, you know, it's wild because, like,
it's a starting point.
Yeah, you can literally say to it, like, hey, I haven't talked to my brother in 3 years. Things have been kind of tense between us. Can you read this letter I'm sending to him and make it sound more compassionate? It'll be like, yeah, absolutely I can. Like, shit, man. How did we get there? And like 2 years ago, I don't feel like we had this.
It's crazy. For me, this kind of scary part of it, I mean, a lot of it is scary, but for me, it's how good the video has gotten. Because that was, like, very
the
much...
AI video now. Like, you know...
It was really, like, not good just, like, 3 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And now, within the past year and a half or so, it is...
It's gotten pretty over the top, to the point where, like... You know, there's much bigger stakes. Holy shit. There's much bigger stakes here, but, like, one of the things that I worry most about with this particular breed of AI is that, like, there is going to be no incentive for anyone with a lick of artistic integrity to enter like the graphic design field or anything like that. Like,
Yeah, I get you.
in 5 years, it's gonna like, yeah, I could
Like
pay,
journalism.
I could pay this real human being, you know, $60 an hour to create a really unique website and all this custom artwork for my new property. Or for $0, I can plug it into this AI and be done with it in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I think
that
people with
sucks.
integrity will still keep going into it. I just think they're going to get shafted.
Yeah, but well, I was gonna say though, you have to be assuming
9S.
that these big corporate producers who are shoveling all this stuff out into the ether have integrity, which they do not.
No, they don't. And AI is like
They will always
kind
opt
of
for the
the word that
cheapest.
makes them horny right now.
Yep.
Is just throw AI into your PowerPoint, you know, and they're gonna be like, oh yeah, we need that, you know. And that's why you see it fucking everywhere. Like, yeah, Google searches and stuff like that, but also
What is it?
just throwing AI in fucking everything.
Uh-huh. Well, and you know, it's becoming meaningless. Like, you know, you have laptops that are getting thrown out and video game handhelds that are, you know, the Asus ROG Ally AI. Like, AI how? AI what? Like what's the AI doing?
What's the AI? How does it help me?
Is it generating frames, or is it collecting all of my game information to feed back to Steam so
not
they can
both?
more effectively advertise to me?
Yeah. Like the
Probably
fucking
both.
PSVR 2, that having that patent for like eye tracking, where it's just like, hey, we can like make sure, see where their eyes go to better serve them with ads. And it's just
Right,
like, oh,
yes.
fuck you. Like,
Ooh. Hey, here's one area where I'm actually disagreeing with Sparks a little bit. Sparks
What's
writes,
that?
I feel like, well, the last scene was really Freudian. Yes, it was. But then most AI doesn't
Oh,
really
yeah. Oh,
work
my God,
that
yeah.
well in the long run. I agree. Because when you're looking at something with AI, you know, at first glance, it's like indistinguishable. But the longer that you sit with it, I feel like I can tell when something's AI. Versus when it
Yeah.
sounds like, oh, something's a little off here, or like the way that they're moving is just a little bit weird, or surreal. And that's when I figure out, oh, it's AI.
Up until
but then
recently, I feel
she
like I could always
concludes,
tell.
it's a gimmick like 3D was. That I disagree with. I think
Oh,
AI
AI?
is here to stay. It's just we've got to regulate it and figure out the best use case for it, so that it
Yeah, I don't
doesn't
think there's
become a
any
way
going
for
back.
billionaires to cut out 90% of their employee base and just get richer.
Yeah, I agree with you there. AI is not going anywhere. It's only going to expand, and we have to, as a whole civilization, not to, you know, put too much of an exclamation point on this, but
Right.
we need to come together and figure out how we're going to use it going forward, and if we need to, like, you know, limit it basically.
Right.
Because yeah, I think if you want to replace the workforce and stuff, I think that's an okay long-term goal, and still have.
But you got to
people
make sure
working-
something is done with that workforce so that they're not just starving.
Exactly. They just want to do this in the short term, and then what about, you know, money and people starving to death and being homeless? Fuck them, whatever. You know, long term, if AI is doing a lot of the hard work, and we're able to, like, you know, pursue artistic pursuits and stuff more.
Yeah, you know, like
and we have,
maybe
like,
like
I don't know.
start to develop that utopian vision where mankind is just sort of able to rest on our laurels a little bit.
Yeah, where in the 1950s they promised we'd be there by 2000.
You know, like I'll be honest, like the idea of the 20-hour work week is super appealing to me.
Oh,
Like,
hell yeah, dude.
like,
And you can then
let's
you can
just
just
fucking
like
get
have
there.
the freedom to spend time with your family,
Hell yeah.
or try to make a legacy of just something creative,
Yeah.
or fucking play video games all day. Like, who gives a shit?
Right.
You know, I think
like if
the
that's
universal-
if that's keeping you from walking into a grade school and opening fire, then fuck yeah. Like,
Yeah,
let's
seriously.
let's get you hooked up with a healthy outlet for your impulses. If AI can get us there, let's have another renaissance. I agree, Sparks.
Yeah, definitely. All right, I'll get fixed up. I think I'm gonna call it a shorter episode because I don't plan on working tomorrow. But
you never
they
know,
could
yeah.
call me in. Yeah, they could.
So Monday, of course, we're heading off to Disney, but let me know about Sunday night
Woo!
on your end.
All right. What time is your flight on Monday?
It's not until the evening, but we wouldn't
Okay.
be able to game.
Okay. Well, yeah, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't like Monday morning and
No.
you were gonna lose out on some sleep or something like
Oh
that.
no, we're good.
Okay. All right.
I would have liked that, but the airlines being what they are right now, because I fucking hate this that we spend every episode like this. But fuck Trump.
yeah.
The airlines are struggling right now too because of him. So
Yeah. Which is
we
like,
weren't able to get like an earlier flight, so we're late afternoon.
I am definitely like not of the mind that flying is unsafe right now.
No, but it's understaffed for sure because he's cut like federal aviation workers in half.
For sure. And I'm not trying to like disagree or anything. I'm just saying, could you text me when you get there?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Alrighty. Okay, well, yeah, next time I'm Play the Hits, I think we're mostly done with A2 scenario until I, get to the tower. I think we might only have 2 episodes left.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that last little soul box or whatever it is, which I think is in the desert, and then we'll go to the tower.
The tower.
It's in the tower.
Yeah, I've still got to figure out what of those projects that I sent you I actually want to pick up as my next one. Though, like, I'm kind of really wanting to co-op the rest of Sea of Stars with you.
Oh yeah.
Like we started that one and we did it dirty, so.
We did, yeah.
Such a good
I
game.
definitely would be down for that. And actually, I should download that soon and start like playing it myself.
I was gonna say though, how many freaking like beautiful story-driven RPGs are there that we can play co-op? Like that'll be a unique experience.
Seriously, it's
especially
like
since we're only
Secret
like
Mana.
5 hours into it, and it's like a 30 to 40 hour game.
Are we only 5 hours into it?
Yeah.
Wow. Like
Give
I know
or
we
take.
just got that one pirate / uses portals to fight
Ninja
people
Girl
person. Wow, we're only that far in, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
By the way, it's also been like a year since I've actually played the game, and it's a wonderful RPG, so I'm going to be like rediscovering it, which is kind of nice.
Gotcha.
Hell yeah.
All right, man. Well, Sunday actually might seem good
Sweet.
because y'all are over there for about a week, right?
Yeah, we'll be there till Friday.
Okay.
Monday to
Alrighty,
Friday.
yeah. I'll hit you up Sunday then.
Sweet. Have a good night, man.
Yeah, you too. Talk to you later.
Later, buddy. See ya, Sparks.
Bye, Sparks. Night.